my new 20-minute stretch video. This is a video to help you work your muscles, feel energized. It will improve your range of motion, it will improve your flexibility and also prevent injury. So let's get to it. Okay, sit up nice and tall on your mat. Legs nicely stretched out in front of you. Lengthen through that spine, out of the crown of our head. I'm just going to gently roll down, nice and controlled. Arms in front, here we go. Lower all the way down, nice and controlled. Don't flop down, lengthen down. Okay. Arms in front, up and in front of you, shoulders pulling down. Brace the tummy, we're going to lift up and try and stretch our toes, curling through the spine. Here we go, we lift up, lift, lift, and just stretch towards our toes, and then lower all the way down, nice and controlled. Pulling up, pulling in through your tummy, breathing through this, lifting up again through the tummy, and stretching through the spine, stretching through those hamstrings, and then lowering all the way down, nice and slow and controlled. Okay, lift up, all the way down. See if you can get further towards your foot, your toes every single rep. All the way down. Okay, keep going. Let the muscles start waking up, feeling what they're doing, feeling that beautiful stretch. Okay, 2 more. Lift up. See if you can get past our toes. All the way over. And lengthen all the way back. Okay, last set. Pull tummy in, lift up, stretch, stretch, stretch. All the way over. Hold it there. Let everything just go loose. Just hold that position. Feel that stretch. And then very, very gently lift back up. Big, big shoulder roll. Make sure those shoulders are rolled back and down. Those shoulder blades are pinching down the back. Okay. Loosen off those legs if they're feeling a bit tight. Okay. Arms out in front again. Right arm, stretch all the way over and hold the side of your left foot. Okay, and we're going to open up, stretch up through the chest and open that arm up. Follow the eye line of your arm. This is a big stretch. If it's too much, just lower that arm down. If you can, stretch all the way back. Nice spinal stretch. And release. Okay. Sit back up, shoulder roll, lengthen up through that spine, out of the crown of the head, sitting on those coccyx bones. Okay, let's do the other side. Left hand, hold on to the toes of your right foot. Open up that chest, stretch that arm as far back as you can. Make sure those shoulders aren't hunched up by your neck. Pull them down your back. Stretch through the spine and just hold that position. And then very gently come back to beginning. Big shoulder roll again. Okay, I'll come face onto you now. Then do a mermaid pose. So leg bent in front of you along the front of the mat. And just gently bend that other leg back. Similar to a pretzel, we haven't got that leg stretched all the way back. It's just in towards us. Okay, tummy in. We're going to lengthen all the way down to the side. Stretch that arm. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Feel that stretch through the obliques. Just a nice gentle stretch. I've done something similar. We'll do that later. Just feel that stretch. And then lifting up. Taking hold of that knee, so your right hand taking hold of the left knee and stretching the opposite way, feeling that beautiful stretch through the other side. Let's do that again, slide all the way down, opposite way, feel that stretch, and slide over and watch room. And then lift back up, take hold of that knee, slide the other way, and we're going to do that one more time. Slide all the way over, stretch, stretch, stretch. See if you can stretch a little bit further. And then lift back up, take hold of that knee and stretch the other way. And lift up. Okay, pull those legs in front to a butterfly position. So Pull those legs in as far as you can get them, as far as is comfortable for you, okay? If this is too intense, just pull those legs out a bit further out. Okay, just feel that movement through the hips, okay? Hip sockets, we're just opening up the hips now. Just go from side to side, just rock back side to side, sitting up nice and tall again. We're not curled in, sitting up nice and tall, lengthening out the crown of our head and just trying to open up those hips. If you want to intensify this, you can put a little bit of pressure on those knees and just push just very, very gently. You decide what is good for you and what's good for your body, okay? Stretching should be slightly uncomfortable but never painful. Okay, if you want to, pull those knees in or those feet in just a little bit nearer to you. Okay, sitting up really nice and tall. We're going to just fingertip walk all the way down as much as you can, just to your level. If that's intense, then just hold that position. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, if you can, let's lower down. Just feeling that pressure through the inner thighs and just feeling that stretch. Lengthen through your spine, let your head go heavy and just let your head hang. Just feel that stretch. It should feel nice, but not ever painful. Go from side to side with your head, let any tension come out of your neck and your shoulders. Release that tension just by going side to side. And then hold it there. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, see if you can push back on your fingertips and walk yourself back up to sitter's position. Okay, let's go straight leg now. Hope you can see in the camera. I'm just going to pull back a little bit more so you can see my toes. Okay, left leg, cross it over your right leg. So that leg is bent over and crossed over your right leg. Take your right elbow and place it on the outside of that left leg. Put a bit of pressure on it. Okay, make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Again, don't curl into this. Sit up nice and tall, you're lengthening through the spine and lengthening out the crown of your head. Arms to prayer. Okay, now for some this might be enough. You feel that stretch, that piriformis stretch through the side of your glutes and the side of your thigh. If you want to, just stay here. For those that want to intensify it, lift up and over your shoulder. Really feel that stretch. Arms in prayer and just looking over your shoulder and nice and tall. Just hold it there. This is an excellent one for sciatica. Fabulous to stretch out those muscles, those joints and everything that's going on inside the spine and the glutes. And release. Lengthen those legs nice and long. Wiggle out if you need to. Okay, let's repeat that on the other side. So right leg over the left leg now. Left elbow on the inside, or push it on the outer side, not the inside, the outer side of that knee. Lift up nice and tall. Don't sag in. Lift up, arms to prayer, either hold it here, or if you want to, stretch all the way, looking over your shoulder, lifting up, feeling that stretch now through the opposite leg. Really nice big stretch, really internal stretch, which is a nice stretch to do. And release. Okay, let's do a mermaid on the other side. So one leg bent, other leg behind. I need to go the other way. Okay, make sure you're not too far back like we've done in pretzel. Just bring that knee in towards you, okay? It's a nice gentle stretch. Okay, lifting up nice and tall again. And slide that arm along and stretch all the way over. Nice lateral movement, feeling that stretch through the side of your obliques. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Lift up, take hold of that knee and stretch all the way opposite way. Feeling that stretch on the other side. Let's do that again. Slide all the way over. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then lift up. Take hold of that knee. And go the other way. And let's do that one last time. All the way over. And lift up. Stretch. And release. Okay, let's come onto our knees. Okay, standing up nice nice and tall. We're up on our knees. Make sure you're comfortable. If you need to, just put a little pillow or cushion underneath your knees if it's too much for you. Okay, standing up nice and tall, everything nice and square in front of us. I've got my right leg in front. Make sure that knee is tracked over that ankle. And very, very gently, let's lean forward. Feeling that stretch in the opposite leg and that left hip flexor. Feeling that stretch. That should feel really nice. But let's make sure we're nicely square in front of us, not twisted or turned in any funny way. Straight out in front. Okay. If you want to take this deeper, put those fingertips onto the floor. Feel it stretching. You might feel that stretching both hip flexors now. Okay. We're going to open up the chest now. So place my right leg, my right hand on the inside of that right foot. With your other arm, stretch up nice and tall to the ceiling. This is quite a big balance challenge. Lift up through the chest and stretch that arm up. Finding that balance. Just hold it there. Okay, and then lower down. Okay, if this is where you'd like to stay, then please do. Just put that hand back to the other side of the leg or the foot. If you want to get any deeper into this, let's lower all the way down onto our elbows. Find that stretch there. It's a deep, deep hip flexor stretch. Okay, if you're up here again, let's curl the toes under, or if you're down on your elbows, curl the toes under, lift up that knee. See if you can stretch, lifting up. Make sure we're not here. We're pushing back into that heel. Let your hips sag into the mat. Let them sag down, feeling that weight, pushing down. If you want to, if you're here, just feel that stretch. This is such a deep stretch, but it's a good one. Make sure that heel, we're pushing back with that heel. We're not too far forward onto our toes, which is a really uncomfortable position. Pushing back. Okay, gently let that knee go to the floor, uncurl your toes. Lift up, and we're going to stretch back, all the way back, and stretch this calf now, and the hamstrings in the opposite way. Sit back as much as you can. And the idea here is to see if we can get that head towards that leg. So if you need to keep that knee bent, please do. If you want to stretch it out, then keep that leg nice and stretched. Pushing those hips back. And let's see if we can get that head all the way down to the ground. Or all the way down towards your knee. Beautiful, beautiful, nice big stretch. If you want to deepen this, put your foot onto the floor. If that's too much, just lift it up. Let that heel or the toes come up. You decide which is good for you, which is good for your body. Let's push forward again. Let's come down either onto our fingertips and lift up that knee. If you want to deepen it, onto your elbows. Just really open up those hips, get deep into those hip flexors. Hold it there. And then knee down, uncurl your toes, pull back on your fingertips and push back. Feel that stretching through, find your balance, stretching through your calf. All the way back, hips, push them back. If you can, let's get deeper into this. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, sink into it. Use your breath when you're stretching. It's really important to use your breath to sink into a movement. Just relax. Relax your upper body and sink into that movement. Let's do that one more time. Whichever way you want to go to, on your fingertips or onto your elbows. Curl your toes under, lift up your knee. Stretching back. Stretching, pushing that weight into the heel. Feeling that really deep, deep hip flexor stretch. Hold it there. And release that knee. Coming onto our fingertips, uncurl the foot, push back. Every single time you do this, you should get a little bit deeper into that stretch. Use your breath and just lengthen down into that position. Increasing your flexibility every single time you do it. Bend into your elbows to help you get deeper into this, to bend your elbows. And release. Okay, same leg, keeping that same leg, curl it under, and then stretch back. Okay, feel that now in through the glutes. Okay, let's hold it in this position, nice cobra position for anyone that does yoga. Just hold that position so you're on top of your hips, legs stretched all the way back, kneecap pointing to the ground. Okay, you can either stay here, if this is good enough, this is a nice stretch for you, stay here. If you want to go deeper into this movement, lengthen all the way down to the ground, or whatever you can get to. Just stretch and then put your head on the mat and just sink into that movement. Sink into that stretch. Nice, beautiful stretching through the glutes and through the leg muscles, really opening up those hips. Just hold that position. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, relax your upper body, relax everything, and deep sink into that mat. And then very, very gently lift up, walk your hands back up. Sit onto the side of your glute, so you're my right glute. So you're allowed to sit now back onto that glute. Very, very gently lift up that foot and see if you can squeeze it back towards your glute. Hopefully this is absolutely no pressure on the knee. So a seated quad stretch. Hopefully for everybody anyone that has any problems with their knees, this should help. So you're stretching out your quad muscle at the top of your thigh. And if you can, really squeeze that ankle or that heel back to your glute. And release. Okay, let's do that all again on the other side. So sitting up or standing up on your knees. Okay, roll those shoulders back. Pull those shoulder blades down the back. Other leg, so my left leg, pulling it forward, making sure that knee is tracked over the foot. Very, very gently lean into this. Keeping that alignment with that knee and the ankle. Feeling that stretch on the opposite side, so my right hip flexor now. Stretching. Okay, let's put our fingertips down onto the mat. Let's feel that nice stretch. Okay, now I'm going to have my back to you. So left hand on the inside of my left foot. Find that balance. Let's lift up our right arm, stretch open through the chest and up to the ceiling. Stretch through the upper body, lengthen the leg back behind you, finding that balance. And then all the way back to the ground again. Okay, let's put our hand back where it was, so on the other side on the foot. Let's curl the toes under, lift up that knee. So this is a runner's lunge position. Really feel that stretch through that hip flexor. If you want to take this any deeper, let's put our elbows inside that foot and all the way down. Keeping in line, then my shoulder and my knee are in line with each other, okay? I haven't let my knee come out. Everything's nicely tucked in, keeping that alignment. Pushing that weight into the back heel again, so we're not too far forward and the weight on our toes, and pushing back. Holding that position. If again it's too much, just come up. You go to your level, okay? If it's too much with the knee up, just pull it, have this position instead. Okay, now everybody, let's go back to this position and then gently push back. Pushing back, feeling that stretch now on the hamstrings and the calves. Keeping those hips pushing back behind you, okay? Not twisted to the side in any way, all the way back. You decide what you want to do with your foot, either flat to the floor or lift it up as you pull back. You decide. You can experiment with it, push it down. You decide what you want to do. Big breath in. As you breathe out, sink into this position. Just hold it there. Let's repeat that again. So you decide which way you want to go, fingertips or onto your elbows. Let's see if we can lift up that knee, stretching up with that one side of that leg and coming down, whichever position you want to, feeling that stretch. And then lower that knee, just lengthen all the way back behind you, stretch, stretch, stretch. See if you can get your head all the way towards your knee or to wherever you can get it. And then let's push back forward. onto your elbows, onto your fingertips, lifting up that knee. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And one last time, stretch it all the way back. All the way back, hips back behind. Stretch into that, or lengthen into that movement. Okay, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, sink into that. Feel that deep, deep stretch. It's quite an intense stretch through the back of your legs. See if you can sink as much as you can into that movement. And then lift back up. The same leg that's crossing in front of us now. Stretch that leg back behind you. Stand, sitting up nice and tall. Sunshine's come out. Lifting up nice and tall, chest proud, shoulders back. Feel that stretch through the spine. And then very, very gently, you come down to your level. If it's just here, then fine, just hold it there. Let your head get nice and long though. Feel that weightlessness coming out of the crown of your head. If you want to take it all the way flat to the ground, please do. And rest your head on the mat and just sink into this movement. Just relax your upper body and feel that stretch. And then very, very softly, let's put our hands back onto the mat. Let's move onto that glute, onto that side. Take hold of your foot and very, very gently squeeze it back towards your glute. It's a nice gentle quad stretch, but put no pressure whatsoever on that knee. Feel that stretch. Go in as much as you can, as much as you're comfortable with. And release. Okay. All the way back round. Wiggle out those legs. Okay, let's take hold of your band. We've done this a million times before, but it's a good one. Stretch, put the band onto your right leg, all the way flat to the floor. Lift up that leg to the ceiling. Just point and flex, point and flex. Just feel that movement through the back of the legs again. Okay, keep it in pointed position. Using the band. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, pull the arms in towards you and pull that leg nice and straight. If you need to, just bend it off. But if you want to try and get that flexibility through the back of your legs, find that length and pull in towards you. Using that band, using the band, you can get really deep into those muscles. But I only ever like to do this kind of stretching when you're really nice and warm. And release. Okay. What am I going to do? I am going to do it this way first. So left hand into the band, right hand flat to the floor. We're going to lower that leg all the way to the floor and let the hip go with it. Stretching out through the glutes, through the hamstrings. You go to wherever is comfortable. Stretching through that leg. Holding that position. Hold it there. Should feel really nice, a really deep, deep stretch. And then lift back up. Okay, I'm going to swivel around because I'm not going to have enough room. Okay, so keeping that leg there, let's change over the hand grip. So now my right hand is in the band. Left hand out to the side for balance. Keeping that hip nice and still. I'm going to stretch that leg to the side. You go to wherever is good. Feeling that deep stretch through the inner thighs. Keeping that hip nice and still. If you can, lower it all the way down. Keeping that hip nice and still. Don't let it move. Holding that stretch. Lift all the way back up. Oh, that's a bit tricky. Okay, pull that knee in towards your chest and stretch out that leg nice and long. We'll go side on again so you can see. Pull that knee in towards you and just hold it there. Okay, let's go the other side. So other foot, arch off your foot onto the band, lengthen that leg nice and long, stretch up to the ceiling, just point and flex. So you're articulating through the foot, so the heel, the ball, the toes, articulating all the way through the foot. Hold it there. Take hold of that band, using the band now. This is why we use the band, to get deeper into the legs. Take a deep breath in. As we breathe out, see if you can pull that leg towards you. Nice and stretched. Oh, it should feel like from your ankle all the way down your leg. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, see if you can pull that leg just an extra inch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Using that band, pulling in towards your face. And release. Okay. Let's go out to the side. So left leg, left hand, right hand flat onto the floor. Stretch out that leg to the side, keeping that hip nice and still. Don't let it pop up. Stretching through the inner thigh. And then lift back up. Okay, I'm not going to do this one because I'll bang into the window. Change over hands, the grip of the hand, arm flat on the floor. Let's go all the way over to the other side, go as far as you can. I've banged into the window already. Stretching out through that quad, through the glutes, through the hamstrings, through the quad, through the calves. That should just feel such a nice stretch. And then lift back up. Pull that knee in towards you, really tugging and hug that knee. Pull into your chest and stretching out the opposite leg. And release. Let's do a quick figure of 4 stretch. So release the band. Take hold of that foot and place it onto your opposite knee. Hands through the thighs and pull in towards you for that figure of 4. Really pull in as much as you can. Really feel that stretching through the glutes. And release. Let's do the opposite side. So opposite leg onto your ankle, onto your opposite knee. Hands through the thighs and pull in towards you. And feel that lovely, lovely stretch. And release. Unfold your legs and slowly come up to sitting. Okay. Pull one leg in towards us, stretch the other leg away from you. So a half split, this is called a half split. Make sure we're sat nice and long or seated flat on the floor and we're nice and long, stretched up to the ceiling. Okay, one hand, so got the leg that's bent, one hand behind. Let's do our beautiful stretching that we know we've done before. Lift up, stretch up those hips to the ceiling, lengthen through the fingertips and all the way down to the toes. And then come all the way down and stretch the opposite way, all the way over towards our fingertips. Fingertips all the way down to our toes. Let's repeat that again. Lift up, stretch, stretch, stretch. And lower down. Let's see if we can get a little bit further over. Okay, one last time. All the way stretch behind you and lift up those hips. Stretch those fingertips all the way down through to the toes. And then come all the way down again. And lengthening all the way down to the toes again. And release. Let's do that the other side. So change over leg. So pull one leg in towards you. Stretch that other leg to the side. Sat nice and squarely on the mat, okay? We don't want to be twisted or turned in any funny way. Sat nice and squarely onto the mat and lengthen up through the crown at the top of our head. Place that hand on the knee that's bent, place that same hand, same side, behind you. Lift up, stretching through the hips, lengthen through from the fingers, stretching all the way down to the toes, and lower down, and lengthen all the way over. Feel that stretch. One side's probably stiffer than the other, that's perfectly fine. That's why we need to stretch. Lift up, stretch the opposite way, lifting up through those hips, and then slide all the way down, and lengthen all the way the opposite way. Let's do that one more time. Hand behind you, and lift up the hips, stretch, stretch, stretch. Slide all the way down. Lengthen all the way opposite way, stretch, stretch all the way down to your toes if you can. Keeping that heel, that knee and hip all the way flat to the ground, don't let it lift up. And then stretch back out. Okay, let's finish off on just a few extra things. So cross over your legs, whichever your dominant side. So if you're right-handed, you're typically dominant on the right side. So right leg in front of you. My head's probably going to disappear out of the screen. Arms out nice and long. Let's see if we can lift ourselves up nice and tall. That was a struggle. Let's see if we can do that all the way again. Holding it there, stretch out the arms, lengthen those arms, pull those shoulder blades down the back. Let's see if we can do that again. Place the weight in the feet, lift up and stretch. Well done. I'm just going to go back so you can see me. Okay, last few exercises. Big, big shoulder roll. Shoulder roll. Always love a good shoulder roll. Okay, roll forward now. Opposite way. And hold it there. Okay, let's take that chin. Don't let it go into the body. Keeping that chin nice and still. Let's just lower that ear down to that shoulder. Stretching through that neck. Then let's take the opposite hand and push it down to the floor. Palm of your hand pushing down to the floor. Feeling that stretch now over the shoulder and working down the arm. If you want to take this any further, then lift up that arm. Stretch it away, just feeling that stretch all the way from your ear, all the way down towards your hand. And release. Let's do that the other side. Quick shoulder roll again.